Hey, what's up, and welcome back to Gears Them Beers. We've got a treat in store for the beauty today. One that needed to be done when I got the car, but it wasn't high on the priority list, but I think it's going to be an exciting change, especially for what we have in this box right here. So this is a box from Redline Goods, and I guess I'll just go ahead and open it up so you guys can see what it is. This is a, well, as you can see, a new steering wheel. So the steering wheel in here, I'll go ahead and give you a quick rundown. It's just got wear. I mean, it does have 200,000 miles on this chassis, so 200,000 miles on the wheel itself, and it needs to be replaced. It needs to be changed. This faux leather that they used in the Mustangs didn't hold up too well, so we decided to go with a genuine leather steering wheel, flat bottom, from Redline Goods, as I said. And the quality of this is pretty immaculate. It feels nice. Flat bottom is kind of the wave of the future, I guess you could say. It's so much nicer to drive with. And today we'll be installing this step by step, and a little update on where we are with the brakes. As we did do the first brakes, or the front brakes, in our last video, we were going to do the rear brakes in this video. However, we did not have we wanted to change the brake lines from the stock brake lines to your braided steel brake lines. However, we did not have the correct ones. We thought we did. However, we're gonna have to order the Willwood special brake lines for the rears, and then we can get those underway. So without further ado, let's get into the video. All right, so to start this process to changing a steering wheel, the first very important thing, if your car has an airbag, you're going to need to disconnect the battery. This needs to de-energize the system so you don't set your airbag off in your face. Airbags are expensive. You don't want to set it off, and you don't want to get hit with an airbag when you're sitting in your car. So we're going to now disconnect the positive terminal of the battery, and then we can go ahead and start disconnecting. However, you're going to want to disconnect it and let it sit for about 5 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes maybe, to be safe. Just so you, like I said, you don't set that airbag off in your face. That would be an unpleasant experience. Wouldn't you say?
Absolutely.
Someone decided to connect so many audio things to this terminal, and now there's like 800 cables going to my battery terminal. I don't know who did that.
Get in the car.
All right, so once you've let it de-energize for a little bit, we're going to go ahead and start taking off. And now your next steps are going to be these little tabs. Oh, it's right there. These little tabs, plastic pieces. Just get a flathead screwdriver. There's actually two. There's one on this side as well, right there. And you're just gonna pop those out, and those are gonna reveal the screws. So we're gonna go and do that. All right, now as you can see, if you can look in here, I don't know if we can get oh, that was bright. There are two screws that are now revealed. Once we pop those out, get a better angle because I'm sitting in the seat. And we'll go to getting those out now. Make sure to put your plastic pieces somewhere that you remember them and don't lose them. Two small screws, nothing too overly bearing there, just on each side of the steering wheel. And now, as you can slightly see, that the airbag is starting to come out. And now for the scary part. So you got caps off, screws out. Now all you do is you pop it out, and you got one little clip, one little teensy beensy clip that's going to give you more trouble than anything else, because plastic clips from Ford are a pain in the ass. But it isn't too bad. You just take out this little metal piece, put that somewhere safe, and there's another little clip on the back side, and your airbag's out. And now you've got, take that, you've got 4 screws that are holding in your controls, and then you've got your center screw, your actual steering wheel screw, and then
that one plug.
One plug. I'm being told there's a plug. There's two. One plug. Ah, this one right here. Found it. See it? Don't worry, I know what I'm doing. Theoretically, this 20-year-old plastic piece should come right. Easy peasy lemon squeezy, everybody. Doesn't this just come off that tab? Yeah. So if you need to see more of this plug, there's this little metal tab right here. That little metal tab, I don't want to blind everybody, that just gets pulled off of a plastic piece back here. Just pull it straight towards you, be very gentle. This plastic piece can be very brittle. And then you can get a better picture of what you're looking at. Oh, we didn't need to take the piece off there. Reclip. Alright. Shot number 2. Alright. So the next step, instead of taking the plug out from right here, we're going to take the plug out from up here, because we figured out that's a better option. We're actually just going to remove the whole steering wheel and then change everything off on the workbench, because I feel like that would be a lot easier, a lot more simple. So to get this clip off, this is actually going to be mounted up here by one metal piece that slides over a plastic tab. You just kind of lift up on it slightly and pull it towards you. It should come right off. And then if you look under this, you'll see a little plastic piece, and you just pull that up and it slides right out. So now you're ready to take the steering wheel out with the center bolt. Alright, once that plug's out, you're going to get your handy dandy impact wrench, or however you want to get this bolt out. It is a T50, and you're going to stick it in, and easy does it.
That was easy.
Yeah, that was a lot easier than expected. So you can pull this off by hand, but if you respect your body in any way, get a puller. You will destroy your hands. Just get a puller. I don't condone or recommend you do this by hand. So we set up the puller, and we're just going to.
Oops.
Well, attempt number 1 was a fail.
Okay.
All right, puller, attempt number 2. First time didn't go so well.
There you go. Keep going. I think it'll come off my hand at this point. Yay!
Hey!
Make sure those wires didn't get caught up in anything. Okay.
Hey!
Yay!
We did it! Alright, so as you can see, ease of access of not having to do all of this in the car is astounding. So now we can see exactly what we need to change. So get yourself a Phillips head screwdriver and take out these 4. I've already gotten them loose, and you also need to take these 4 Allens out, which should not be very hard. If you can see, there's also some wiring that we're gonna have to relocate here, but overall really not worried about any of it. So let's go ahead and just knock these. So one thing I didn't mention is we're going to have to also relocate this back plastic piece, which obviously covers the back of the steering wheel. So after some inspection, we just move these out of the way after moving those Allens, and there's just 2 Phillips head screws. Just easy as this. Just get them out, and it should pop right out. Look at that. So now the only thing holding that in is obviously the wiring going in the back. We'll just have to figure out how to get that in, but we should just be able to pop this back plastic piece off, pop it back on, and the wiring should all be done. So everything off, I just wanted to do a quick side-by-side of what changing into. Size pretty much the same, everything, dimensions, all the same, color pretty much the same, except for this is the genuine leather, and this is the faux leather from Ford. Also the wear and tear on this one, as you can see again right here. This one's just much nicer. So we're just gonna go ahead and get everything transferred over. It pretty much was a simple task once we got all of the Allens and the Phillips head out. Just comes off in one whole piece and you can easily switch it back over. All the wiring should be pretty much handled, and once we're comfortable, we're gonna clean this up a little bit so we can put it on the new steering wheel so it doesn't look grimy and old, and we'll start putting it back together. So, slight hold up. We did have a plastic piece break on this corner. It's not a huge deal. We did just have to fight the leather a little bit to slip these back in, but nothing tremendous. We also just stuck this screw back in to hold in what is left of that plastic piece. And obviously this is the remainder of it, but not a big deal. The steering wheel will pretty much hold that in, and 20-year-old plastic, kind of expected something would break. Kind of surprised we got this far without something breaking. So we're just going to continue putting everything back together. All right, so assembly done. Everything looks good. Even from the back side, all right, no complaints. So we're just gonna go ahead and get it back lined up. I remember these wires were through this right hole right here. So just make sure that these get fed back through. And we're gonna line this back up to the center hole and tighten her back down. Am I good to impact this in? Am I good to impact this in?
Let's make sure you're not cross-threaded before you do it. Let me get the ratchet. Try and tighten it by hand a little bit and see what you have. You want to hit it with the impact one time, that's fine. Make sure she's tight. Just a couple hits. Hit it, hit it, hit it. Hit it. Hit it. Hit it. Okay, I'm happy with that.
Ready? All right, so just 2 more plugs and then the airbag and you're all good. And then the 2 plastic tabs and screws. All right, and the airbag just as removed, we're gonna slide it back in the other way. And I don't believe you actually have to remove this. I kind of got distracted by it. Saw shiny metal and decided to remove it anyway, but
it's the other way around.
We're just gonna slide it back into place, and it's all back. So we're gonna make sure everything fits correctly. Like so. And we're ready to put the other screws back in, which right here, going from the side, and cross our fingers and hold our tongue correctly. All right, perfect timing because our camera's dying. You might have to, if you're using an aftermarket steering wheel, especially with leather that has thicker pieces than your stock, you might have to push your airbag in slightly between these. Just a fair warning. but it was nothing too overcomplicated. Just make sure that it's centered, make sure that you've gotten both clips on the back side of this. They just push in, and overall, 2 out of 10 difficulty installing if you have a puller. 5 out of 10 easily if you don't have a puller. Overall, great quality steering wheel. This was Redline Goods again. I want to give them a shout out. Not sponsored, but they fantastic product, very easy to install, and I'm happy and satisfied. So peace out, guys.